Up, y'all? It's Coach Jordan. We're gonna make some bows here, and we're just gonna have some fun. Okay. So first things first, I made a. I didn't even measure it, y'all. I did measure out 19 inches. Yeah, 19 inches. Folded it in half. And we're gonna create that pinch. But on this pinch, so it's all gonna depend on the wiring that you use for that's in the ribbon. Now this one has really good wiring, so I'm able to curl it just like this. So this is gonna be the center of our bow. And then I'm going to move up to the 7/8 inch ribbon. The 7/8 inch ribbon. So I'm going to make a tail. Let's see, we got 9-inch tail. And then we're going to measure out 11 inches. Okay, so 11-inch loop. All while we're still holding that little curl that we made. Okay, so we do have this, and it's our nice little curl. What's going on, y'all? And then we're gonna bring in that fancy panty, making my tails about the same length as the other one, so 9 inches. This one we're gonna move up to 12 inches. So 12 inches. Pinch and twist. Okay. So this is what we should have so far. We've got our little curlies, we've got our 7/8, and then we've got our 1.5 inch ribbons. Next, we're gonna come in with another 1.5 inch ribbon, and y'all, all of it is just about. So the way you're gonna do this on the bow maker, because I don't use a bow maker, y'all. You're gonna work from the back to the front. I always work from the front to the back, so it's just the same thing working with from the back to the front. So you're gonna start off with your 2.5 inch, then your 1.5 inch, then your 7/8 inch, and then your little curl. So again, some 12-inch loops. Okay. So now we have another tail. So we're going to pinch this. And now we're going to move up to 13 inches. So 13 inches. Pinch and twist. And make a nice little tail. So bow making does not really have to be complicated, y'all. Like I said, I do use my hands. I don't use a bow maker, but I mean, all of this can be done on the bow maker. Just take the measurements of my loops and my tails and apply those to the bow maker, but you're gonna go reverse. How I work front to back, you're gonna work from the back to the front. Okay, so I have put in a zip tie. I want to make sure I put a pipe cleaner right back there before I cinch that completely shut. Y'all, for me, zip ties I feel, and this is just my opinion, that they're a designer's best friend, because they'll make that bow really nice and perky. Once you cinch that all the way shut. So now all we're gonna do is just dovetail our ribbons, and you can use this in your wreaths, your swags, your Christmas tree as well. So kind of the sky's the limit with this one, y'all, with these ribbons. So I'm just dovetailing my ribbons. I try and give my ribbons that are 1.5 inch and larger dovetails, and then I give my smaller than like if it's smaller than a 1.5 inch, I try and give it like a little knife edge. That's what I call that. It's a little knife cut edge, just a nice little slant. But there we go, y'all. Look how pretty that bow is. So it's perfect for a Christmas present, perfect for a door hanger as well, for a wreath. I would definitely put this on a Christmas present though. Look how pretty that is. You got the little curls. So this is kind of what I call a full bow. Now a full bow is where we have 2 loops and 2 tails on each side. So we're going to make something like this, but we're going to do a half bow. Okay? And my half bow is quite literally what that is. It's half the bow, so it's going to be that top part of that bow. So once again, we're going to measure out. I eyeballed that. And we're going to pinch this. Okay? Some people call it the funky bow. Some people call it just Jordan's half bow. That's my favorite name for it. Just gonna say that. So we're gonna start off with the tail. Okay, we're gonna pinch. Y'all, this kind of reminds me of ribbon candy. Okay. Then we're gonna go up to 11 inches. Make our loop, pinch, and twist. Now we're going to make a tail. So we're going to have one tail going to the left and one tail going down. And I try and make my tails about the same. So now we're going to have one tail going down. And we're going to do 12 inches. So I try and go up an inch every time I make a new loop. Pinch and twist. So now so this is actually the 3rd layer ribbon, but if you only have this, so this, say we didn't have the curl, right? We didn't have the curl, we have the one. This is your 2 tails of ribbons. Down here you got one pointing down. You got one to the left, one pointing down. You have another one pointing down. You should have another one to the right. So you should always have one and one, y'all. So now we're gonna have another tail. We're gonna measure it out just the same way as that one. So this one was 11, this one's 12. Now we're gonna go up to number 13. Lucky number 13. Y'all. Pinch and twist. And we're gonna make our tails just as long. So if you look at it, it's essentially that half of the bow. That side half of the bow. So we're going to make a tail. I'm going to pinch it. And make our loop. So now adding in our pipe cleaner right there in the back. Bringing our zip tie around. You know, like I said, I love zip ties. I know there's some people out there that don't like zip ties, but I love them because I feel like it really makes your bow pop, which is ultimately what I want it to do. But sometimes you don't need a big full bow like this. Sometimes you just want something really small like this. Now I want to tell you, this bow right here works really, really well in your Christmas trees, because you can have your tails and you have this versus a full bow. So there is a full bow and then there's my half bow.